Want to make a birthday card that practically glows? Today we're using metallic inks with Lisa Horton Crafts ombre stencils and dies to create a dramatic layered window card. And I have lots of tips and tricks along the way, so let's get started. Hey crafty people, this is Ellen with EGI Design and welcome to my channel. Today we are having a play with the Lisa Horton Crafts Ombre Florals, and this is a die set, and there's also a coordinating stencil set. What I'd like to do is I'd like to cut out from the panel these florals, and then I'm going to create a stenciled image to place behind the die cut, so we get kind of like a two-tier effect on that. And so what we're going to need to do first is do the stenciling on a panel, and then we will cut out with the die set. The die set is really cool. It's got this frame, and then it's also got this all these florals and everything, so you can use this to cut out your stenciled images, and you also get like a negative space too because there's no cutting lines around the outside. So that is pretty cool. We are going to be using, I wanted to go bold with this. This is a birthday card, so I'm going to use the Lisa Horton Crafts metallics, and I'm only going to use up to here, so the rainbow, not the more metallics. All right, so I'm going to go through and stencil this. There are 6 stencils, and it's really cool because they start up near the top, and then you add the next layer, which is a little bit lower, and then the next one, which is a little bit lower, and then finally the bottom, and then there's some foliage and things like that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and do the stenciling. I will speed it up a little bit, and then meet you on the other side so that we can finish this card up. Alright, I just wanted to give you a quick tip. Because I want this 2 layers deep, I cut 2 panels. This is Lapis Lazuli metallic pearlized paper. Look at how gorgeous that is. But anyway, it's pretty thick. So I put the 2 panels together with temporary adhesive, and then I used this part. I lined it up on the stenciled piece. And you can see through on here, these are flower centers, so it's easy to line it up on here. And then once that was in place, I put the frame around it with equal spacing and just taped that. So now this is one piece. And then I went to cut these together, and it was fine that they didn't, because now the second layer, I'll show you. There's some of the adhesive in there. I'm trying to just peel it apart a little bit. So you can see though that on the second layer there is an imprint of where the die should go. So now I know exactly on this one where that needs to go. So, and it should just lock in like a puzzle piece. Which it does. So I'm going to cut this one, and then we will have both of the layers that we need. All right, well, while I was punching all the flowers out, I just wanted to give you a quick tip. And this, I know a lot of people, when they use the postage dies, I like the postage layout, or something like this where there's dots across the whole way. It's so annoying to just do. So I just wanted to give you a quick little tip that I have for that. If you take your pokey tool and you just run it down, they will just fall right out. And it makes it so much easier. A couple of the stubborn ones you might have to punch out, but you can just run your pokey right down. It'll come right out. I'm just trying to look for some more here. Okay, and then they are all gone. I like to do it on this foam mat. This one's from Sizzix, but I know there's a lot of different ones out there. So it's all collected on here. This is kind of a grippy texture, so they don't go everywhere. Then you can just dump this off into the trash. Okay, so now we have our 2 layers, and they are cut in exactly the same spot, which is awesome. And we are going to put this over this on the card front. Look at how gorgeous that is. It is so bright and beautiful, and I love how the stenciling came out because we used the metallics. So we have that super shine, right? So we need to glue these together and stack them up and let them dry, and then we need to cut down this panel so that we can put it behind there. I'm just going to go through and glue these. I'm sure you don't need to watch me glue, but I will be right back. Alright, so I trimmed down the back piece and it ended up 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I didn't want the edges of that to show through these little dots because I'm going to put it on a different colored card base and I wanted that to show through. So it's just a little bit smaller than where the dots are. So I was trying to come up with a way of how can I adhere this, because I want it to be adhered in the middle so it has support and it's not loose. But I knew that if I put glue all over the back of this blue, I would probably make a mess on my stenciling, and then it might react with the inks and then get all blotchy or whatever. So this is a new trick that I just came up with right now. So I taped up top here, like on a hinge, and so I have it exactly placed as I need it. And so I'm gonna just hinge this back and put glue on this, and then close it like a book. And then it will still be in the right spot, and I won't have glue everywhere. And I think it will work out. So I'm gonna go through and glue this, and then I will let you know how it works out once I put it back together. Oh hey, it works! Hooray, awesome. I'm so excited. All right, let me put this under a block and let that get super sticky stuck, and we will move on to the sentiment. All right, I just wanted to give you a quick tip if you haven't seen this before. When you have a sentiment or a die cut or something that has very small border around it and you're kind of worried with the die, if you're going to have even spacing, one thing you can do is use the die and cut out just the die. I needed another layer to go under the sentiment, so that worked out. And then what you're gonna do is tape your sentiment to your cutting plate so that's steady. And then you're gonna take the cutout, the negative piece, and you're gonna put it over whatever it is you need to cut out. And so in this case, I can look through and I can get an even border, and I know exactly where that is going to cut. So then I'm just going to tape this down. And then what you do is you take the die and it just locks in. Sorry, when I moved my hand, it moved. It just locks right into exactly where that needs to be. So then you're going to tape that. Keep sticking to my finger. Okay, so I'm going to run this through my die cut machine and then I will show you what that looks like. Okay, I can just kind of take this whole thing apart and you will be able to see. So look at how perfectly that it cut, right? Perfect borders around each one. So that is a good tip for you if you're having any trouble lining up your images and your dies. Alright, I decided to actually cut out the second layer with the Lapis Lazuli because I want to do a drop shadow effect. So a little bit of that will be hanging out from underneath. And this is a really easy trick to have things stand out from your background. Just giving them a little bit of a drop shadow of the same die cut. It really helps. Just trying to make sure we're straight here. So then that has that shadow there. So you could put this, you know, anywhere on here and it'll give that little like pop off look. All right, I'm trying to think of card bases, and I had this like blue-green color. This is from scrapbook.com called Tropical Sea. And I kind of like the way that it brings in the blue and all the greens in there. And it really makes the pink pop. So I think I will go for this. And this is an A2 size panel, so I can just make an A2 card base for that. If you have never done that before. So this is an 8.5 by 11. And one way to make an A2 card base is on the long side, you cut it in half. And that is at 5.5. If you have a trimmer that does 12 by 12 paper, let's magically seal these back together. You could cut it the other way, and then you would have a longer, like a top folding card. I'm going to show you how to make this little one like a little book. I usually like to use my Spellbinders trimmer and scorer. But today I will go with my little score buddy. So right here we're just going, so we're gonna score halfway. So this way is 8.5. So we're gonna score at 4.25. Okay. And then you want to put the bump, which is now on this side, on the inside of the card. So you flip it over, and I like to use the ledges here. And I just push that into the side so the sides line up, and then use bone folder to make that score line nice and crisp. And you just fold it over and just check and see and make sure you're lined up correctly. And you can always adjust just a little bit if you need to. This is pretty thick cardstock, so I'm just really making sure that we are good to go. Alright, so we are pretty much edge to edge on this, so we don't have to worry too much about equal borders. Just kind of pay attention to the outside edge. I'm just going to put this on with tape runner. All right, let's get finishing up this card. So we have our beautiful Heat Emboss birthday wishes to go on the front there. And I was thinking just to add a little sparkle and shine to the front, I would just make like a little nest of this Vivant silver behind the birthday wishes. I pulled out, this is the 1/4 inch black foam tape from scrapbook.com, and this is 1 mm. This is like ridiculously thin, which will be perfect for this because I really don't need a lot of loft. I just need somewhere to stick this the thread to. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of wrap this around. And then you can make it however you want on the front. So you can just kind of readjust. You could take it off, start again, take off part of it, make it longer, however you want. You could, go from the back. So there's a lot of options of doing this. Messy is good and fun. Okay, so wherever there are tails sticking out, I'm just gonna trim those off. Okay, I think that came out pretty cool. So I'm just gonna add some glue on the back of this, and then we can add it to the card front. All right, so now that we have that all set, I wanted to show you the inside panel that I created. So I used the same stamp set as on the front. This is the Lisa Horton Crafts, and this is the More Fabulous fonts. And they are pretty fabulous. But I stamped that in the ultraviolet, and then I used some of the pieces that fell out from when I cut the panel here. So everything is coordinated together. Let's just get this inside. I usually use temporary adhesive so that if I mess up when I write the card out, I can just take this out and redo it instead of ripping apart my whole card. All right, so here's our card that we made today, and we used the ombre layered floral stencils, the die set, and then the More Fabulous fonts. And so we did the stenciling with the beautiful metallic inks. We cut 2 layers of this panel so you could definitely get some dimension there. And then we have our birthday wishes, heat embossed, some little silver thread there just to kind of set that off a little bit. And then on the inside, we have our beautiful panel with some of our flowers that we cut out there. If you're looking for more card inspiration using all kinds of fun techniques, click on the playlist on your screen right now to see my full library of card tutorials. And I also will put my playlist of Lisa Horton crafts projects as well. Thanks so much for stopping by today, and until next time, like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.